Monday morning, August 25th. Thanks for joining us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. It's good to have you back on ARC.
It's good to be back.
How do you like that?
I like
We're
it a
back
lot.
together again. We have got 2 full hours to get through, so let's run down what we have brewing for you this Monday morning.
Can you believe it? Back to school is just around the corner. So this morning we're getting some Lunchbox inspiration. Our registered dietitian will join us with some healthy, kid-approved meals. That's coming up in this morning's Health in a Handbasket.
Ooh, okay, I'm wondering, will peanut butter and jelly, are you allowed to have peanut butter and jelly in schools anymore?
I don't know. I really don't know. When I was in school, there were like specific areas that were peanut-free.
Really?
Yeah, like specific tables in the lunchroom.
I'd have to drop out in first grade then.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to survive. Then a beloved video game is taking the stage in a whole new way. We're going to learn more about The Witcher live in concert coming to the Kodak Center next month. We're going to chat with the show's conductor all about the cinematic experience.
And then later, Grammy Award-winning rock icon Melissa Ethridge is getting ready to take the stage at CMAC this week with folk legends the Indigo Girls. Stephannie Joseph got to chat with her as she got ready for her upcoming show. We're going to talk about the tour and what you can expect.
And Melissa, if you're in town early and you're watching the show, because I know she's a fan of ARC Rochester, come into the studio. We would love to have you on the show live and in person. And you could perform here.
Yeah.
Listen, you can have the entire 9 o'clock hour this week if you want.
I don't
From
know
9 to
if she'd
10.
want to. It's probably too early for her.
It probably is.
She's probably just falling asleep right now, just hitting the REM cycle.
Perfect show to fall asleep to. Hey, before all of this, we've got to get a first check of the forecast. Meteorologist Mark McLean. Mark, it's feeling like September out there this week, my friend.
Yeah. It's a kind of weather that would put you to sleep, maybe. 70s, yeah. If you like high temps near 70, you're going to love this forecast. Hey, one thing that happens, though, when we get the cooler air aloft in the atmosphere, you get these little pop-up showers. And there was even a little lightning mixed in with one just south of Buffalo there. And I think that's going to be the case as we move through time here. By this afternoon, we'll see that chance for a few isolated showers. Nothing that's going to last too long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes at a time if it does pop up over your location. And again, for Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, I think we'll see something similar play out. So again, not a washout for you, but when you walk out the door this morning, 60 degrees. It did dip down to 56 in Rochester for the low temperature this morning. And on the hour-by-hour forecast, there's that high temperature near 71, mostly cloudy at 1 o'clock. And the next 3 days, a taste of September. We're going to be right around 70 degrees. We'll talk more about that and have our weather trivia, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
Oh, sorry, Mark. I fell asleep to your forecast.
I got drool.
There.
Terrible.
Sorry.
More
Sorry,
coffee,
McLean.
I guess.
Welcome back.
Thanks, Marky Mark. All right, let's go off the top now. Start with stories that have piqued our interest today. I don't know if I ran this story while you were here. Maybe not. But are you aware of Bam Bam the dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
No, yep.
Okay.
I was here.
A positive update to that story. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Bam Bam, the service dog for a blind Chicago man, has been found, and he is back in the care of his owner. So this story happened last week, but I wasn't here to give you the update, so I asked Ashley if I could wait till today. So here we go. If you weren't with us a couple weeks ago, here's a quick recap. Angel Santiago has glaucoma, type 2 diabetes, and is legally blind. His 14-year-old dachshund mix is the key to his independence. The Chicago man says back in June, someone stole Bam Bam out of his backyard. He reportedly tried to stop one of the men who was taking him, but couldn't hold on to his arms for very long. For months, he walked the streets of Chicago, passing out flyers and asking people for help. The story took off on social media, and people began reaching out to help him. Pet detectives were hired, people started using their own personal drones, and the calls for answers on social media, it was almost deafening. Thousands of dollars was raised on GoFundMe pages, and PETA even put out a reward for the safe return of Bam Bam.
Wow.
I know, pretty incredible. Then, after more than 2 months, Bam Bam was dropped off at a police station. The man and woman who handed him over are unknown right now, but an investigation is underway into exactly who these two are. A stray rescue foundation was contacted once the dog was found, and they say thanks to his microchip, they were able to figure out who he was pretty quickly. At the time of his return, Bam Bam was reportedly seemingly in pretty good health. However, since then, he's had some medical issues, including an enlarged heart and issues with his liver or kidneys. Since then, he's been treated for a UTI and has reportedly been suffering from some anxiety, especially at night. While his owner is very worried about this senior dog. Again, he's 14. Our affiliates in Chicago say the two are relieved to be back together again. Santiago says he plans to use all that money raised to pay for the dog's medical bills, which we know can add up. He says he also plans on buying Bam Bam a new bed and some well-deserved treats, too.
Listen, I think there's an organization or organizations nationally that could rally together real quickly to make sure Bam Bam gets all the care he needs free of charge, and that Angel gets to keep that money that was in the GoFundMe. I mean, this goes to show that, sure, we don't know who these people are yet that dropped off the dog, but we know there is good in humanity, because whether or not they're responsible, they brought the dog back. There is some good out there.
Yeah.
And that just makes you feel really good.
It really does. And I think it also kind of shows the power of social media. So often we think of it as a negative thing, right? An addiction and something that can cause harm and so on and so forth. But in this case, I mean, word spread rapidly, and it took over my social media, and you would not believe how many people were sharing and commenting and posting. And everybody had the same sentiment. We've got to bring him home. Obviously, he is really needed in this household, and it's sad. He's 14. He's a really old pup, and that is especially old for dachshunds. So, you'd like to think that he could live out the rest of his years just comfortable and in a loving home.
Yes, and listen, and I think that's all that matters for both of them, that they are together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that he's comfortable, he's well cared for. And maybe we can work on that anxiety, because that little pup, he's been through a lot, and he doesn't need that.
Yeah, 2 months.
That's an added stress.
2 months.
I'd be afraid I'd be gone again too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but great update. We got to keep following the story of Bam Bam.
Well, here's the thing. So I was on vacation. I really wasn't on my phone too much. And I was scrolling on TikTok while I was falling asleep, and I saw somebody posted, and they were like, oh, he's been found. And it was like 3 minutes ago. It didn't get any likes or anything. And I thought, oh, that's a spam account, And then I dug a little deeper, and I was like, oh my gosh. I found the original post from the Pet Rescue Center. I was so excited. I shed a tear. Just a single.
It's kind of like Abby found him. Almost.
Almost. Pretty close.
No, we love it, though. Good story. All right, let's move along to mine. You know, they say love is complicated. Well, one guy turned it into an international felony. A man in Singapore has been sentenced to nearly 4 months in jail for secretly marrying 2 women at the same time.
You can't do that?
Nope.
Okay.
His first wife, well, he married her in 2007 in India. She's a Singaporean citizen. Years later, he moved to Singapore, starts working there, and guess what? He falls in love with a co-worker. Okay.
This is not them.
This is why I don't like the whole file video sitch, because they don't look anything like that. Nope, that's not them either.
You know what?
It's just not. It's not. That's not them. That coworker knew that this man was married. They both knew. Still, they flew to India in 2022 and got hitched in a religious ceremony there. That second marriage was never dissolved, which makes it bigamy, a criminal offense. Now, you might ask, how'd this guy get caught? Like, other than, honey, I work late every other night so that you can... I question that. Well, here's the doozy. The guy's second wife had his baby. So he went to the hospital to visit her, and that hospital, well, it's where his first wife works. So she sees him, her husband, coming out of the delivery suite and thinks, well, that's suspicious.
That's
and so
what she thinks?
I'm paraphrasing because I don't know what she thought, but it's probably something along those lines.
Mine would be a lot of four-letter words.
Well, I'm sure there were those too, because she confronted him. That's when he confessed, and that's how she finds out her husband has a second wife and a newborn. Honestly, what do you even say in that moment? How do you handle that? And get this, after all that, he still tried to apply for permanent residency in Singapore using wife number 1 as his sponsor. And on the forms, well, you guessed it, he lied. He said he had no other marriages. Spoiler alert, immigration checked. Eventually, wife number 2 reported him to the Ministry of Manpower, and the whole thing unraveled. He's now behind bars. It's 3 months and 3 weeks that he got. The second marriage is still technically active, so he is married to 2 people at the same time. And he may find a third person in prison, so there might be a third marriage there if he's lucky. And yes, he's likely to be deported once his sentence is up. So let's recap this. 1 man, 2 wives, 1 baby, 1 hospital hallway confrontation, 0 chill, now jail. Honestly, how do you begin to explain this to your family? Or in his case, his families.
Oh my God.
It's wild.
It is wild. And, imagine that poor kid, right? Like the first time the kid has to play like two truths and a lie. Remember that game in school?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he'd win every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts. Totally nuts.
It is.
What makes people think they can get away with these long game cons?
And also, how can you handle 2 wives? I'm a real piece of work. I feel like 1 is plenty.
Yeah. I mean, it takes an at-home husband and a work husband, and we're still overwhelmed.
What can I say? I'm a little particular.
Stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're checking in with Chris Lopez, who's getting ready to ride this Monday.
Yeah, and don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live. Join us on the 13WAM YouTube channel and on foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
starts in just a few days, and that means getting to and from class, is a top priority, which is why bikes are a back-to-school must-have for many families.
Yeah, luckily, the local nonprofit, ARC Community Bikes, is making sure everyone has access to their own set of wheels. Chris Lopez is live showing us how they're making it happen. Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Donations. We're going to cover donations in this hit, the giveaways as well. But one of the things that they do here at our community bikes is fix bikes. And they have an array of different tools, different volunteers, any kind of part you need. It is here at our community bikes. I'm here with Chuck, longtime volunteer. You guys have everything covered, from the workstations to all the different parts, and we haven't gotten a chance to show that the last 2 times I've been here. Talk to me first about the workstations, how they're divided up, and how each and every mechanic can find what they need when they need it and in a timely manner.
We can accommodate about 13 mechanics on a given day. We can put up some islands where they can work, but every workstation has a tool board with the tools they need. A lot of our mechanics bring their own tools, and brand new, as of a couple of years, new park tool stands. They just we completely got rid of the old ones and went to the newer heavy-duty ones. And then if we go this way, we can talk about
all of the parts that are organized and ready to go. So it looks like everything that you guys need, you just go over to one of these boxes.
Well, we believe a lot in recycling. So when we get a bike that's beyond repair, we'll strip it and put it in these bins. We have a wonderful parts manager who sorts and puts these in so they can be reused. We have wheels overhead. We patch and reuse tubes. So
was it like this when you first started in 2006? You said the origin story was a little bit different than what you're seeing right now. It wasn't as organized.
We could spend a good deal of our time just trying to find parts. And Mary Ann Conley, our parts manager, organized and color-coded and sorted and put everything so that it's easily accessible, easy to find. We have a board of specialty tools that are specific to bike work.
These are fixing more complex problems.
Yes.
You guys said this is the area where it's not going to be, a tire fix, a patch. Yeah.
Everyday toolbox tool, and then we've got chains there. We recycle freewheels and cassettes, truing stands. We've got everything we need here.
And are all these parts that we just saw? Are these all stripped from maybe bikes that can't be repaired and sent back out, and you guys don't try and waste anything and give it to a scrapyard or something? You pull it for what you...
We pull off what we can use, then the frame will go to usually Metallico, just a couple of blocks over, and so we try to keep it out of the landfill as much as possible.
And you guys are nonprofit. All volunteer, which means there has to be some type of monetary aspect to this. You guys do bike sales, even though you also give bikes away.
Absolutely. We do 3 major sales a year out of our warehouse at 305 Tremont Street. Our last one of the year will be September 13th. We hold the last one after the kids come back for college and they need a bike for the school year. So that's coming up, 305 Tremont. We have a lot of bikes there that of any size, any kind that you want, and fair prices. The better prices than you'll find anyplace else.
I love that. Thank you so much, Chuck. And then also, donations. They take them here at all times of the year. And someone who organizes that is Kevin. You go out and about and grab bikes from all over the place. People don't need to just come here. You guys will organize a pickup and go to people.
That's right. Yeah, I have 49 volunteers working for me who do the pickups. We have this whole system of donors. Anybody who has a bike that they want to donate to us, they can go to our website. They can either send an email to a group email site.
And to show the scope of how far you guys have gone, or how far you have gone to go pick up one bike, not that you do it all the time, but you will go to Hammond Sport.
I did that last night, but I was there anyway. No, most of our bike donations are right here in Monroe County, and it seems like some of my volunteers have their territories. One guy handles everything south of the Thruway.
Okay.
But we also get our donations from college campuses, and we now have relationships with about 20 college campuses. At the end of the semester, bikes that have been abandoned in the bike racks are collected in one place for us, and we go pick them up.
Yeah, and you guys have an extensive amount of bikes, and I'm told you guys are really low on inventory in terms of how much bikes you guys actually have. Stay tuned here on ARC Rochester. We're going to be talking more about the mission here at our community bikes. Wednesday and Saturday, 9 o'clock until, we'll be here at 9 o'clock to get a donation, and then 9 o'clock until noon is when you can get your bike fixed. Back to you in studio.
That's great.
Awesome. And you saw the link or the website at the bottom of the screen earlier. If you've got some bikes in your garage, the kids are grown, they're out of the house, they're never coming back for that Huffy, that's where you can bring it. I assume. Okay. A Huffy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know.
I don't think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring them that Huffy.
When we come back this morning, it is time for weather trivia.
Yeah, meteorologist Mark McLean joining us on the set on the other side of the break.
Don't even say it. It's disgusting. I'm so glad I wasn't here last week for all of the shenanigans.
Oh, listen.
How many times did we ask, can we say that on television last week?
It was asked 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost one per day. Poor Steph.
Yeah. I mean, Mark walked off set once, and then Steph walked off set once.
Yeah.
I stayed here and took it like a champ.
You might have been the one giving it. But
That's okay.
All right.
all right, Mark is
Yeah.
here. We're talking about the weather. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like cool and
September.
And,
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to stick around for a while. So if you like the cool changes, it's going to be here for a little bit. But talking about weather trivia first, we do have a chance for showers in the forecast today, and this is something that's very interesting in weather. This is precipitation, rain that falls from a cloud, but it evaporates before it actually reaches the ground.
Ooh.
So this is interesting because we can actually see it on radar sometimes, but it kind of fools us because it doesn't actually get to the ground. So it looks like it's raining in Webster, maybe falling from a cloud in Webster, but not actually reaching the ground. So is this virga, sublimation, deposition, or conduction?
Ooh.
I don't think it's Virga, because that sounds a little bit too much like your zodiac sign. And I feel like maybe you just changed.
I know the answer.
You do?
I sure do.
Okay.
Yep.
It was in some of the training, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I know this.
Yep. He's got the inside digs on this one.
Yep.
Yep. Well, we'll have the answer at 9 o'clock right here on ARC Rochester. Give you that info. So, you know, rain has been the topic. And you look at this, we've had 6 days of rain, but under an inch in total. So we're an inch and 2/3 below normal in August for rainfall, and this continued a trend that started in July. Now, we have had a little bit of rain recently, so the lawn isn't quite as brown as it was, right? It's like greenish brown now.
Yeah.
But a moderate drought nonetheless.
It looks good out there, though. Look
I
at
know
that.
on a wide view. The
nice.
big mature trees out there, you know, they don't show a ton of drought stress at this point, but the smaller plantings, the
Sure.
ones that just went in, they're struggling a bit. Mostly sunny and 60. We got down to 56 this morning. The part of the forecast you're going to notice is that breeze out of the west as we go through the afternoon. That's going to pick up a little bit. Now, southwest of Rochester, there's some pop-up showers. There was even a little bit of cloud-to-ground lightning there just to the north of Jamestown. So, you know, through the afternoon, we're going to see a little bit more action like this kind of pop up as cooler air starts to slide on in. You see the futurecast there shows it pretty nicely. Nothing that's going to last too long where you live, but, you know, a quick 10 or 15-minute downpour. Certainly going to be a possibility. And then for Tuesday, kind of the same process playing out again. Watch Tuesday night. Does that look interesting?
Yeah.
See that wind shift, that wind direction off
What's
the lake?
going on there?
Little maybe lake enhanced, lake of, I don't want to say the,
Yeah, well.
yeah, that terminology that we use
but-
when cool air goes across the lake surface.
But technically speaking,
yes.
it is still, it's lake effect.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be snow.
Right. It definitely is rain this time of the year. Lake Ontario, 77 degrees
We
right
just
now.
don't typically say lake effect.
No,
at that point.
no. But the temperature differential between the air and the water is large enough that we'll get some lake enhancement for Wednesday morning. So that'll be interesting. And there's another chance on Thursday. There's another cold front that's going to make its way across the lake, and that's going to give us another chance for rain there Thursday and into Friday. So planning forecast today, plan on a decent amount of sunshine this morning, that breeze during the afternoon, and that brief shower threat for the afternoon. Get our app and take it with you if you're out for a walk or you want to get the exercise routine in outdoors. We'll have a couple of hit and miss showers. 54 tonight, partly cloudy. Looks like a mainly dry forecast. And as discussed, maybe this disgusts you.
Yeah.
I don't know. 70s, mid 60s for Friday. The normal is 80. Upper 60s for Saturday. Labor Day weekend right now looks dry and not quite as cool towards Labor Day. If I had to throw a number at Labor Day, it would be in the mid to upper 70s right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's a serious question for you. Upper 40s
Yep.
as we make our way toward the weekend. At what point do people with outdoor plants say,
Oh, yeah,
you
start
know,
thinking about it.
this one's big, it's going to
Yep.
take the whole weekend to get all
Yeah.
of these in, I'm going to do it now while it's at least decent?
I've never taken anything in the month of August. I would refuse to.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, in September, though, you got to watch. Usually it's the third week, fourth week of September. We get one of those nights that's in the upper 30s to near 40, and then you really, really start thinking, especially the tropicals. Yeah, you got to watch those. Large, mature ones. I try to leave the tree outside until early October.
Well, it's good that Dan asked that question because we want to know if you at home have a garden question. We are looking to do that for our From the Ground Up series. You can email us, news@13wham.com. You can also message us on the 13wham Facebook page. Any and all questions up for grabs.
Bonus points if you send them in the form of a video. We would love to see who's asking these questions.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Just-
We have a landscaper on this week. He's going to be installing some landscaping outside the station here. So we're going to go through the how-tos, the best practices for putting in new plantings, especially in a drought or dry season like we've been having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Becky from Webster. I'm
Yep.
wondering about my begonias. What do I do? Hey, this is Brian from Victor. I don't know what kind of tree this is. Hey, this is Ashley saying wrap. 8:30. Don't go anywhere. A lot more to come here on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
.32 this Monday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We want to take you behind the story this Monday as we continue to follow that devastating scene that unfolded on the Thruway this past Friday.
Yeah, you may remember a tour bus returning to New York City after a trip to Niagara Falls crashed, killing 5 people and injuring dozens more. Stephannie Joseph joins us now to break down a little bit more of what we know and where the investigation stands so far.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into here. Just starting off with the basic facts. So we know that 54 people were on board, 52 passengers, and then there were 2 drivers as well. We know that the driver who was actually in the seat driving that bus has been identified as a 54-year-old. But in terms of the people that were killed, there were 5 adults right now that we know of. And I wonder if we can get that chyron up of all the different names there from this crash. We know that one of them, you'll see here, the youngest of the victims so far, was a Columbia University student. There were also a few people from New Jersey and another person from India. But dozens more, as you guys had said before, had been injured in this crash. And they went to several area hospitals, whether it was Rochester or Buffalo. Currently, let's see if we can also pull up a different chyron here of all of the different hospitalizations. So 16 so far, at least 16 at this point. That's come down since last Friday when this crash had happened. We know that 11 of them have been admitted to the Erie County Medical Center. 1 child is at Oshai Children's Hospital in serious condition. And then as for URMC, patients have been discharged over the last 2 days. We know 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. So 4 being the total at least there. And of those 4, we know that 2 were discharged yesterday and Saturday. 1 is in critical condition and 3 are stable at this point.
It's just a really tragic scene of events that unfolded. We know Mercy Flight helicopters flew right into that scene and landed on the median of the New York State Thruway, which is not something you typically see in these, but this crash was really anything but typical. Steph, I want to, what do we know about causation? How did this happen?
Yeah, there's several questions. That's definitely a top question for investigators at this point. But they have been able to tell us, state police at least, have told us that there was no signs of impairment from the driver. And we also know that according to a quote from a short press conference that they did on Friday, that the trooper had said that they believe that the operator became distracted, lost control, and overcorrected before ending up on the right shoulder with that bus there, that coming from Major Andre Ray. So a lot of questions about what exactly led to that distraction. For example, the NTSB is also involved in this investigation as well, and they are looking into every different factor.
Yeah, it is truly incredible to see the number of first responders who are at that scene. Correct me if I'm wrong, 6 counties, correct, with different EMS personnel responding, trying to help out.
Yeah, it was an all hands on deck effort, just seeing everyone out there. It was certainly a sight to see for a lot of the first responders. We had been hearing, especially from Daniel's reporting, how much shock there was among everyone, because for a lot of people, they hadn't seen a tragedy of that magnitude.
Absolutely. We actually have Daniel's package queued up here. Why don't we take a look at that?
As patients recover and first responders return to service, Genesee County's Director of Emergency Management reflects on Friday's massive Thruway scene.
Our thoughts and prayers are out to the victims and the families of the victims and the injured. It was a devastating incident.
After 35 years in public safety, Tim Yeager says few moments compare.
Back in the early 90s, there was an Amtrak derailment in Genesee County with multiple injuries, dozens of injuries as well. That was very early in my career. I wasn't in a management position then. I was just a first responder.
Yeager now crediting preparedness.
We have a tour bus with 52 passengers, mostly foreign speaking. We have people ejected and people possibly under the bus at this point.
One responding firefighter sharing his experience online of pulling one passenger from under that bus, writing in part, quote, "Lives were undoubtedly saved, suffering was reduced, and the opportunity for a very bad situation to get worse was prevented."
It was, the biggest and probably one of the most tragic events, that our company has experienced during my tenure there.
Mercy Flight's executive vice president recalls 3 helicopters racing to the scene. Mercy Flight Central and LifeNet also responding.
They can transport patients at approximately 150 miles an hour through the air. As far as the scene itself, one of my flight medics described it as, he felt like he was in a movie, a traumatic scene in a movie.
The circumstances of that crash now under investigation. Yeager says those who answered that call now must process those experiences.
We want to make sure that everyone has the same opportunity to speak to the professionals that they need to speak with, so that they're in their field for a long time.
And, like you said, Steph, there are still so many questions out there. And one thing that investigators are really, really looking for right now is dash cam video. They're asking for anybody who may have had anything, even, before the crash, to reach out to them with that.
Yeah, and that number is right there on the screen, and also the NTSB as well. You see that email there on the screen. They're looking for information, dash cam video, as you heard Abby say, because that'll definitely help as they try to piece together what happened here.
And one thing we always hear from members of law enforcement, especially with Crime Stoppers, but in any instance, every little bit of information helps. Even if you think, oh, this is so minuscule, this wouldn't impact anything. That's not necessarily the case all the time. Send them anything that you might have.
Yeah,
I just want to point out in listening to that package, because the situation that played out, it breaks your heart for the first responders who walk on a scene like that. And we're grateful for all they do. But the sense of disbelief, you could hear it in that first Broadcastify call. You could hear that female voice in that Broadcastify call. They're very good at their jobs. They're very good at keeping a sense of calm. They have to disseminate this information in a sound, clear manner so agencies know what they're walking into. But you could hear the disbelief because, again, we've not seen something of this magnitude in decades.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
It is. And
horrifying.
You know, you seriously hope that those first responders who were there are able to get any kind of treatment or have the ability to talk to somebody if they need it, because we know that that is a very heavy job and probably a very hard day that'll stick with them for quite some time.
They take that home.
Yep.
They certainly do.
And there was a lot of extractions and things still happening then. We know that the bus itself was equipped with seatbelts, but the NTSB is looking into how much they were used, the extent to which people had actually used them. So I can only imagine there was people as young as 1 year old to up to 75, I believe, that were on the bus. So a lot going on.
Certainly a story we will continue to follow for you, both on air and online, 13wham.com, foxrochester.com. So you can check there for any updates, also here on air.
Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we will go live with Chris Lopez, who is highlighting the work being done at our community bikes.
And don't forget, you can take us on the go wherever you are. ARC Rochester is streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around, we're back on the other side of the break. With the first week of school just around the corner, bikes are gearing up to be one of the many ways kids get around.
Yeah, and thanks to a local nonprofit, Our Community Bikes, they're making sure every kid who needs a bike can have one for free. They repair, provide, and spread the joy of riding, and Chris Lopez is live this morning checking out everything they have to offer. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are in the showroom right now at Our Community Bikes, and this is the first thing people see when they come here if they're looking to get a bike. I'm here with Gene, board member. You've been showing me around all morning long, and this is for back to school, really. This is all bikes for kids, grade 1 through whatever.
Yeah, we give a lot of bikes away. All children's bikes are given away. Never a sale, never a price. We only give away children's bikes.
And one of the bikes I'm holding right now, and I had no idea, training wheels are out, Strata bikes are in. Tell me about this and why you guys recommend this.
So rather than put training wheels on a bike and have the youngster develop a dependency on the training wheels, we would prefer that they use one of these straddle bikes, where they straddle the bike and they pedal with their legs, okay? And that develops a sense of balance, which is a little bit more independent than having to rely on training wheels. So this is a preferred way of training youngsters how to ride a bike.
And I love that you guys don't just hand out bikes to whoever, whatever, however, just come here, get a bike. All of the bikes that we're going to look at right now, you guys fit them to people. It's not just, you know, like I said, it's nothing random. You guys really have this all thought out here. And you do repairs as well at different locations, not just here on Hudson Ave. Tell me about the different locations that you guys have going on through the summer.
So two things. Let me just go back to that fitting piece. That's really important, and people don't often think about that when they come for a bike. But we don't just give out a bike randomly. We require that the bike fit the person. Where sometimes people will come in, good, full-size people, and they want a little bike. Not a safe thing. Not a good thing. We don't do that. But to your second question, in terms of repairs, as I said earlier, we do repairs here at Hudson on Wednesdays and Saturdays, 9 to 12. But during the summer, which goes through September, we will also do what we call off-site repairs.
Okay.
So we have 5 locations. Every day of the week, there is an off-site location. On Mondays, it's at the Beechwood Neighborhood Center. On Tuesdays, it's the West Side Farmers Market. On Wednesdays, it's St. Joe's Community House on South Avenue. On Thursdays, we're at the Asbury First United Methodist Church on East Avenue. And on Fridays, it's Cameron Street Ministries. So every day of the week, there is a repair clinic accessible and available.
And this goes all the way until the end of September.
Yes.
Where do you see our community bikes going in the future? You were talking about partnerships that are going to be happening in the near future.
Yes. So we get contacted by all sorts of community organizations, including the RPO and all other kinds of community groups that would like to, there's a group at RIT, a cycling group that has contacted us, and we will always be interested in collaborating with them. So we are always open to, and we get a lot of requests from all of, actually, we've had several requests from Buffalo, some of which we've had to decline because we just can't spread ourselves that thin.
Yeah.
We just don't have the resources to do that. But it's a high demand. There's more demand than there is supply. That's always the case.
It's a good problem, though. You guys are helping people out. People are coming here to get the bikes. Wednesdays and Saturdays, 9 o'clock until noon are the repairs, right?
Repairs and giveaways.
And giveaways.
Yes.
Check this place out. We're also going to have information on our website, 13WAM and Fox Rochester, about how you can get a bike for your kid, or if you need one for yourself, on our website. I'm going to send it back to you in studio for now.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Lopez, this is such a great initiative. It's always great to see.
I don't think your mic might be dead. Chris, we appreciate the work. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Abby.
All right, don't go anywhere. When ARC Rochester returns this morning, we're getting ready for lunch.
cinnamon Teddy Grams.
You're right. You're right. Sorry, we're eating. School starts next week, so now is the time to start planning what you're going to put in those lunch boxes to keep your students healthy and also happy.
Absolutely. For this week's Health in a Handbasket, registered dietitian nutritionist Jen Hafley is here with a couple of ideas to boost that inspiration. Jen, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in and feeding us.
Of course. I love talking about putting together meals just because people often say it's confusing or I don't know what to get or it's so time intensive. So I have two different ideas that we can put together, and I will say I even ran to Wegmans this morning. I think you could theoretically get your items and put these together in less than an hour, depending on how far it is to the store.
All right,
now,
let's do it.
as we put these together, are these, are you going to pack these and take these to work over the course of the next 2 days?
Potentially.
Okay.
It depends on
All
how
right.
messy we get.
No, we're gonna put effort in.
Okay, so I do have pre-packaged yogurt. You could always get the full container. I just find it helpful because then I don't have to think about it and I don't have to commit to a full container if I cycle out of liking plain yogurt.
Yep. Because I'm with you on that. Sometimes you eat the yogurt and it's a little too yogurty, and you're like, I gotta take a break.
So we can scoot this over a little bit, and then you have the option to kind of put your yogurt there, depending on how tall your container is. But we're gonna make our own version of like a Chobani flip, if you will. So I'm actually going to, we'll put the yogurt in the bigger container. And then I have a few ingredients. So here's one.
Okay.
Let me know what your thoughts
this is
are.
granola, cinnamon walnut, with walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and cinnamon.
Yeah, so we're looking at doing a protein, carbohydrate, produce, and a fat. So really balanced plate, but with a variety of different stuff that either you or kids will like. So feel free to throw that granola on the side.
You want it in this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just eating.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Snacks for everyone.
So it says that a serving is 2/3 cup. Do you typically go by that? It seems like maybe the ratio would be a little off.
Yeah, the ratio would be important. So you can kind of see like this smaller container to yogurt, you probably want about this. This is maybe even less than 1/3 of a cup. So up to you. Depending on too what your protein goal is, this is just a little way to add in a bit more instead of upping the yogurt. So then we have the fun food, or maybe a little bit of a fat add here. So some chocolate chips. So chocolate chips on the side there.
Listen, who doesn't love
This is already a fun lunch.
Okay.
I dig it.
And then our produce items, so making sure we're getting in some fiber and getting it in a way that either you or the kids will eat it, so that we are keeping things regular, we're getting the variety of nutrients, and I would probably pop one of those bars actually off to the side, or maybe a different fun snack, but there is a bit of a lunch, and you would be surprised. It's a bit more filling than perhaps it seems.
Yeah.
But you could always add a bit more yogurt or that granola.
I like it a lot. That's really, those are some creative things right there, Jen.
Okay, Jen, after having just finished one of these protein bars, because I said, can I eat one of those?
They're one of my favorites, so yeah.
That was delightful.
Yeah.
I've had their powdered protein mix before. It's a vegan plant-based protein. And not a huge fan of the powdered protein they have. Those bars, though.
The bars are pretty great.
Rock on.
They're also a smoother texture. So they do have kid-specific versions. The Orgain line does. This isn't kid-specific. However, I would say kids would like it because it isn't that hard or chalky taste that a lot of bars might have.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty balanced bar without a lot of added sugar.
Yeah, 150 calories, too.
Awesome.
Nothing to it.
Jen, I want to get to the other one, too. So what do we have over here?
So these are a little bit more of an eclectic mix. So we did a little bit of sweet with the yogurt. We're going to do a little bit more savory. You already tried this fun food that I grabbed.
And this was such a fun surprise. I like it.
To all of the people who are anti-pumpkin spice until after Labor Day, sorry. I found it in the store and I love pumpkin spice, so I had to grab it. But we're gonna put in some crackers. So if you wanna go ahead and dump those in there.
In this side?
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many are we looking for?
Whatever your heart tells you.
Okay, well, Jen, here's the thing. My heart would just take the bag. It would take the bag and say, we're good. I feel like that's a reasonable serving of those. Not too many, but enough to...
Do it the other way.
I'll tell you what, though.
Smells good?
Teddy Grahams. They smell
really
like
good.
those Teddy Grahams.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid.
All right.
You
So
want to do
we'll
that
put
in
our
there?
cheese there. And then we're gonna make more of a savory dip with this yogurt.
Oh.
So this one I wouldn't necessarily put in the same container. I forgot to grab a bag so we could mix the seasonings off to the side. But we have a few different, and I figured I'd let you both pick. So we have some dill, we can go a bit more ranch. We have a taco style seasoning, or we have a garlic powder that could also support more of that ranch flavor.
We have like 30 seconds left. I vote the taco powder, but that's
Boom.
just me.
Go for it.
Okay, so we'll sprinkle in some taco powder. You could do chili powder, you could do pepper, you could do a variety of things. So I know the top of the yogurt isn't my favorite, so just mixing it in a little bit.
You know what I do with yogurts before I peel the thing? Vegan yogurt, just FYI. Take it and shake it first.
Yeah.
Let it do the gross part for you.
Yeah, so then we're gonna take some of our cucumbers, put them over there.
Nice.
But then this can be more of like a protein-based, but a dip for your produce.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Jen,
Good
thank
stuff.
you so much. These are great ideas.
Yeah.
Don't forget, back to school is next week.
Hit them with the socials.
It's Artie
Oh,
and
sorry.
I was trying to give her a little bit
I
of
didn't
time.
even think about it.
ArtieandJen.com and Instagram at ArtieandJen.
All right, good
Perfect.
stuff. Hey, much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we're back on the other side of the break.
August 25th. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Rochester as we get ready for the next hour. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. Meteorologist Mark McLean is here. We're talking about a much cooler forecast out there this week, the last full week of August. Before we talk about that forecast, though, we've got to answer today's weather trivia question.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun one. Goes along with the season. I was just on X a second ago and talking about it being cool enough for water spouts later this week. You know, the lake surface is still 77. The upper atmosphere is going to be, you know, in the 30s and 40s down low. So may see some of those later this week. Maybe we'll circle back to that as a question for down the road. But today's is this. What is it called in weather when rain falls from a cloud but evaporates before it actually reaches the ground? Is that called virga, which Abby said sounds like
your zodiac.
Like a zodiac, okay. Sublimation, deposition, or conduction? What say you?
B, sublimation.
Is it actually virga? Are you kidding me right now?
Is it virga?
Look at the response.
It's virga, isn't it?
Look at everybody's going A.
Everybody Googled it.
They all Googled it.
You all Googled it. You guys are cheaters.
Down.
Hey, Yvonne, we're going to have your dog on, too. I promised her on Friday, and then I forgot to put the muddy paws on the air Friday. Wow. Like, literally forgot it.
Did you?
I did. We were busy doing other things last week on the air.
Oh, okay.
Like eating salsa, and Friday was kind of...
I could have sworn you did.
It was fun. It was fun. It is virga, and that's what happens when rain falls into dry air directly beneath the cloud that causes evaporation before that rain hits.
Sublimation is what?
Sublimation would be going from a solid
to
a gas.
Oh, solid
Gas.
directly to gas.
So
yes.
yeah.
So what would that be? Oh, dry. Okay.
You can see it in the wintertime too on those super cold days when it's like less than 10 degrees outside. You've got a snow pile. The sun hits it, and it steams.
Yes.
Yeah. So you actually you see that process play itself out. So yeah, it's a cool one to watch. Definitely.
Fair enough.
Muddy paws. So let's circle back to this. Actually loaded it in last Friday and just forgot to put it on.
Look at
Bella.
this.
Sweet girl.
What does she have?
Look at the squeaker.
Is it a duck?
It looks like a duck that's just striped in different colors.
The toys don't last 30 minutes anymore in the McLean house.
No?
No.
Do they have squeakers?
For about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Until you remove the squeaker or until...
Well, we take that part out as soon as she gets a hold of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always cut the squeaker out beforehand because I can't stand it.
They just get boom. I mean, they're gone. No. But wet paws late this afternoon and overnight tonight. It looks like it dries out, and maybe again on Thursday. Probably the best chance of rain this week is on Thursday, with the front passing through at that point. So as that cold front comes through, we'll get some rain showers area wide. But there's a rain shower up over Lake Ontario. See the top of it bubbling up right there? That's pretty...
I mean, I see it. She got up and walked away. She is so sick of this place already.
I have that effect on people.
She legit just quit.
She'll be back. Sounds like a microphone issue. We'll have Abby back in a minute. But 65, west wind at 8. It is going to be a breezy day for today. And ultimate Doppler is picking up some showers south of Rochester. There's even a chance that you get a clap of thunder and even some pea-sized hail in any of these downpours that develop today. And that's because of the cool air aloft in the atmosphere. Not going to be any severe weather, but certainly something that could pop up as the air gets colder. There's the cold front from yesterday. Boy, that's a little troublemaker there for the New York State Fair. Had some flooding out there and some gusty winds, and it just wasn't a great scenario. Satellite radar also showing the west flow, and that's going to be coming on through. So you'll notice some gusts possibly near 30 this afternoon, especially if you get near any of these downpours that are moving on through. Overnight stays dry, and that black dash line that comes into play here late Tuesday, that's another trough of low pressure. And that's going to give us a chance for a few more rain showers, especially later Tuesday into early Wednesday morning. We'll have to watch that as the atmosphere grows colder. But low 70s today, 1 o'clock temperature, 71, 69 at 5 o'clock. The Dan Schrack Invitational is fleeting. We're losing time.
We're actually looking at a date in early December.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
We figure most people should...
Be off
some free time.
Be off the course by then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safety hazard.
It is a safety hazard to have us out there.
54 tonight, partly cloudy and mainly dry in the 7-day forecast. As one for the September lovers, we had pumpkin spice in the last segment. This is a pumpkin spice forecast, isn't it?
Yeah.
40s,
yes.
50s. Is it too early? It's too soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a little too soon.
I do.
It's
I
not
do.
even Labor Day weekend.
I feel like, listen, I feel like September 1,
Yeah.
you go for it.
Yep.
You go all out. You pumpkin spice your life until your heart's desire. I don't think pumpkin spice has a place in society during summer.
Okay.
Can't we just
Are
have
you on
summer?
board? No?
I don't know. It just seems like pretty dramatic. Like that we just can't have it at all.
Yeah, you just wait until September.
When is Dan not dramatic?
We don't ever
Excuse,
have
great
drama.
point.
We don't ever have drama.
No drama.
But then,
around here.
like, do the same for peppermint.
Yeah.
Got to wait until December 1.
Yeah.
So then, what are coffee shops going to put in its place during like November?
November, you could, instead of peppermint, gingerbread. November, Thanksgiving, gingerbread.
It's actually okay.
You
know what? Call
listen.
Dan. He'll figure it out.
What kind of tea are you drinking right now?
Ooh,
kind of
it's
tea is it?
peppermint. It's
Is
peppermint.
that-
No,
Jeff.
actually, Jeff, I brewed some tea with something I grew at home. So,
Ooh. And in case you're
You
wondering,
didn't share?
in case you're wondering where the energy comes from.
There it is. Big yikes.
oh, good. All right, McLean. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We should have more coming up on ARC Rochester as long as we don't get fired. Okay, when we come back, we're learning more about a very special cinematic experience. It's bringing a video game to life in a pretty unique way.
Hey, and don't forget, you can take us on the go wherever you are. ARC Rochester is streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back after this. A one-of-a-kind concert experience is coming to Kodak Center next month, bringing one of the most beloved video games of all time to the stage, transforming its soundtrack into an unforgettable night for fans and music lovers alike.
This morning, we're getting a closer look at The Witcher in concert and what you can expect from this extraordinary production. For more, we're joined now by the conductor, Heidi Jutsten. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So for maybe somebody who has no idea what The Witcher actually is, give us a quick rundown, a quick overview of kind of the theme, the premise of it.
Sure. So The Witcher in concert features the music from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a CDPR video game that has kind of taken the world by storm. We're celebrating its 10 years in existence, and we're really, really excited because we're bringing the co-composers, which is a Polish folk rock group named Percival Schuttenbach, to the United States to perform their music from this video game along with us. It's their American debut, and we're just so excited to be bringing this incredible score to life for the first time, really, across the country, and we're so excited to be bringing it to Rochester.
Now, not only is it a musical experience, as we look at some of this video here, it does look like we're watching some scenes from the actual game. Is this what audience members will experience live in theater?
Yes, correct. So it takes us from the top of the game through the end of the game, through the favorite scenes of the video game. And so if you know the game, if you're really familiar with it, you're going to see things that, you've played before in your living room. But also, as somebody who is a video game enthusiast, but cannot figure out the controllers myself, like if you come and see the show, you're going to understand what's going on from top to bottom.
Now, Heidi, you are the conductor. I imagine that the musicians in front of you are having a pretty good time with the score. Tell us what it's like and how they've reacted to this show.
It always feels so cliche to use this term, but the music truly is epic. It has incredible battle sequences right alongside some of the most gorgeous orchestral writing that I've ever been able to have my hands on, and I have the best seat in the house as a conductor. I don't make any noise during the show. I just get to wave my arms and guide my friends through this music, and they are some of the best musicians that I've ever worked with. And even being able to be alongside Percival as they're doing their thing that they've been doing for years, it's just such a gift, such a lucky experience. And I'm having a great time, and so I hope the audience also has a great time along with me.
I don't need to know about The Witcher. I don't need to have a history with the game. I don't have to have a love for the characters or story to enjoy this show, correct?
Correct. Yes,
Love
the music is just, the music's going to resonate with everyone, and it's going to just, it's a thrilling experience, even if you have no relationship to this particular, source material.
That's really, really neat. For somebody watching at home and they're interested in getting tickets, and maybe they can't be here with us in Rochester, you guys are on tour, yes?
Yes, we are in a different city every night. I fly out to Texas tomorrow to start the tour, and so we are on the road till the end of October, and we're just really excited to be bringing this all over. If you can't come to Rochester, we're in Syracuse, we're in Brooklyn, we're in several places in Pennsylvania. We really look forward to seeing you on the road.
What an adventure for all of you. What can you tell us of the musician coming from overseas for these performances? And I mean, there's gotta be a lot of excitement there, especially when you have a hand in the inception of this game. To see it performed live across America has got to be something special.
Special is a great word. For me, it's breathtaking, especially with the opening theme of this video game begins with this incredible vocal solo. And so to hear that, on albums for the past however many years, and now to watch it live in front of me with the writer herself is just so cool. And it really unlocks why we see live performances, why we as humans keep gravitating in an age that is so recorded to seeing things live. It makes you feel something that is just so unique to itself. And so we're so excited to have the opportunity to bring that across the country.
Excellent. Well, I know that people here are very, very excited for the show. Wednesday, September 17th at the Kodak Center. And thank you so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate it. And break a leg. Not that you're going to need any luck, but I'm sure the following here in Rochester will be huge for you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and travel safe.
Thank you.
When ARC Rochester returns this morning's Political Pulse.
Yeah, we're back right after this. It's time for our Political Pulse here on Good Day Rochester.
This morning, President Donald Trump is facing pushback after threatening to send National Guard troops into cities like Baltimore and New York.
Yeah, the comments come after Maryland Governor Wes Moore invited the president to join him for a public safety walk in Baltimore next month.
President Trump has hinted that the National Guard members could soon deploy to Chicago against the will of state and local leaders.
It's a move that Illinois governor calls illegal and a trial run for a police state. National correspondent Christine Frizzau has more.
On the troop takeover in Washington, D.C., President Trump declaring the city is now safe, with plans to expand the effort elsewhere.
We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next.
The Washington Post reporting the mission is already underway, that the Pentagon has for weeks been planning a military deployment to Chicago, though Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's received no outreach from the federal government, accusing Donald Trump of attempting to manufacture a crisis, politicize Americans who serve, and abusing his power. As others say, they'd welcome federal help to fight the crime, but militarizing the streets is not what's needed.
Technology to deal with carjackings, prosecuting gangs and gun violence in the city, working on the issues of drugs and guns coming into the city, and helping coordinate task force that deal with confronting gangs throughout the city.
President Trump insists his method has reduced crime and has led to a huge spike in immigration arrests. He's now setting his sights on Baltimore, calling it the fourth worst city in crime and murder, telling Maryland Governor Wes Moore to get to work, which more responded to.
The reason that I've asked the president to come and join us is because he seems to enjoy living in this blissful ignorance, these tropes and these 1980 scare tactics.
The use of National Guard troops in California in June to quell unrest over immigration raids may either lay the groundwork or be the legal roadblock for future deployments to cities and states. A federal judge in California is still deciding whether the action was illegal. Governor Newsom and others have cited the 1878 Posse Comitatus law, which prohibits the military from taking part in civilian law enforcement in the United States. The Justice Department, meanwhile, insists it can deploy troops to protect federal personnel and property. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
So obviously people feel very, very strongly about this.
Sure.
You heard some pretty harsh words from some local leaders.
Yeah, people calling this an unconstitutional act, but the president threatened to expand this military deployment to these Democratic cities. And you do have these leaders of these Democratic states saying this is a scare tactic to rile up his base.
Now, the president is even talking about similar situations in New York and Chicago for that troop deployment. Pretty similar to what we've seen elsewhere. In D.C., we know that thousands of those National Guard and federal law enforcement officers are patrolling the streets, and people are feeling pretty passionately about it.
Absolutely. So you've got the National Guard troops in D.C. I know during a Fox News television interview on Friday, the president praised the work of the National Guardsmen out there on the streets, saying it's finally safe to go out and eat at restaurants. And that restaurants were seeing a boom in D.C. like never before. However, if you look at reservation data, published data for restaurants in the D.C. metropolitan area, since the deployment of National Guard, the numbers do not reflect what he says and what the administration is saying.
Yeah, I think we have a soundbite here from the president talking a little bit about what they're seeing in D.C. right now, and with some strong words for the mayor, too, about the crime numbers and what they've been seeing. Ashley, I want to see if we can play that sound.
Look, D.C. is a miracle what's happened. I mean, they can come up with fake numbers like the mayor is doing. Oh, no, it was going down for 20 years. You didn't live here. You know, have you been mugged? Okay. D.C. was a hellhole, and now it's safe. And in fact, I put out this morning, I said, I hate to say this because it doesn't sound very good, but there have been no murders in D.C. in the last week. That's the first time in anybody's memory that you haven't had a murder in a week.
Now, listen. I don't think you're going to find anyone out there who says, I don't want to feel safer in general. But you do have leaders who say the expense is way too high. Governor Wes Moore says this, that the expense is way too high and that this is not something that you can do to scale. It's costing $1 million a day.
Yep.
And it's not something you can scale. Have a listen.
It is not sustainable. You cannot continue this type of pace of operations, particularly when it's costing over $1 million a day in order to do this. The second, it's not scalable. You're not going to be able to do this in every single major American city, particularly when many of the cities that have the highest crime rates are the places that have actually deployed their National Guards to Washington, D.C. So who's going to go do the work in their cities? The third, it's unconstitutional. It's a direct violation of the 10th Amendment. And if for a party that talks about state rights, it's amazing how they're having such a big government approach in the way they're conducting public safety.
Well, and it's interesting sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's interesting that he says that, and because it's something we mentioned in the very beginning, that it's unconstitutional and that it infringes on state rights, because it's upon the governor of any given state. They control the National Guard.
Correct.
They control the deployment of the National Guard. And to see it come from the administration, from the White House, from a president is unprecedented.
Absolutely. And you're going to hear from the Illinois Attorney General right now talking exactly about that. Take a listen.
The fact that he's not embracing the collaboration that you usually do to deploy the National Guard, communicating to the governor, means that it's another step towards authoritarianism, that he's operating as a dictator, turning the military against the American citizens in cities on American land is unprecedented, and it's unheard of.
And, you know, we have not heard from Governor Kathy Hochul on this as of yet. She hasn't released any statements about this since President Trump said that New York City may, in fact, be one of these cities that he wants the National Guard on the ground. Yep. However, she is in Niagara Falls today. She's hosting a round table at Niagara Falls High School talking about the cell phone bans, the distraction-free classrooms. And I'm certainly hopeful that one of the journalists who's there today covering that presses her on this issue and sees what she has to say and sees what she has planned, what the state has planned to prevent dictatorship power, as you're hearing these representatives say, from overtaking New York State.
Yeah, like you said, really hopeful to get some answers on that. Surprising we haven't heard from the governor just yet, but it is Monday. You know, we're just coming off a weekend, so it wouldn't shock me if we got at least a statement from her office at some point today, or even better yet, the opportunity to speak with her at that round table in Niagara Falls. A story will continue to follow for you at home, and I know a lot of questions still remain, not just from people in New York, but obviously all around the country as well.
Absolutely. We'll be here all week following it. Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
Thanks for sticking around this Monday morning, 9:31 here on ARC Rochester. The summer concert season is not over just yet. There are still some big names to come to CMAC.
Yeah, one of them is the Grammy Award-winning rock icon, Melissa Ethridge.
Yeah, she will be there Wednesday night for a co-headlining show with the Indigo Girls, and I had a chance to Zoom with her about it last week. Melissa Ethridge, I am so glad that we are getting a chance to speak this morning. I just want to start off. So in our area, Canandaigua, you're going to be coming next week to CMAC. So exciting. Tell me a little bit about what people can expect with this performance.
This is such a great tour. This is the Indigo Girls and myself. It's a tour that people have been waiting for decades, really. And I don't know why we haven't ever toured together before, but we're doing it now. It is it is a concert full of memories. It is a concert full of your favorite songs. Each of us are, doing all the hits, and it's just such a great live time. It's just like completely live music, which is can be kind of rare nowadays. And it's just rock and roll. It's folk rock. It's it is a good time.
And have you ever been to Western New York before, or would this be your first time?
Oh no, I've been there many times, all around. I've been to Canandaigua. I've been to, Rochester, all that whole area there. Oh yeah, I've been there many times.
That's amazing. I know that you have a bunch of fans already. When we had mentioned that I'd be talking to you in a recent meeting, everyone was so excited. What is it like coming here specifically, or about the live experience that is like no other?
Well, I tell you, especially in Western New York, I got radio play from the very first album, and that was 1988. And I started touring there and playing everywhere. And I played the little clubs, and then I played the theaters, and I played the amphitheaters and the fairs. I've played now the casinos. I played everywhere there. And if anyone has ever gone to a show, you know that I really, I pride myself on the live aspect and being in the moment with the audience, however they feel. Every night is a different set list. Yet you will always hear those. I'm blessed with, a handful of hit songs, and I will always play those because I love hearing people, go crazy for that. So, but just the live experience is something I thrive on, and really love meeting the audience in the moment wherever they are, and entertaining from there.
Absolutely. And I think what's really cool about you and your work is that it doesn't just go into the music space of things. You've had your hand in just about everything in the creative space. Tell me a little bit about why it was important for you to pursue, like, for example, Broadway, thinking about that, or even a book, to be able to reach people in that way.
Yeah, there came a point in my life where I realized that my willingness to write music about my personal life, to be very personal and autobiographical in my songs, to bring a part of me into them, that there came a point in my life where people were actually interested in my life and some of the choices I was making and who I was and what inspired me and the events that happened to me. And when I saw that, I said, well, there's more ways of using my life as entertainment, like a Broadway show, like telling my life story, like writing my book to maybe hopefully inspire people, or just be an interesting story. So I like that. My art comes from my own personal inspiration and my personal moments that I have. So I like doing that. That's the way I like to do my art.
And I think especially nowadays, being able to feel that authenticity really helps people connect with the artist. Is that what you find as well?
Yeah, that's what I believe. I really do believe that that's the way the artist affected me in my youth and my life. And I think that people enjoy that. It's like a good true book or a true story. It's just people inspire each other.
And we are going to pause the conversation right there. Stick around because we have more with Melissa Ethridge coming up after the break. And don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Blam YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back on the other side of the break. 9:39, and we're back now on ARC Rochester with more of my conversation with Melissa Ethridge. She'll be playing CMAC this Wednesday night. Mark your calendars. Co-headlining with the Indigo Girls. Picking up where we left off in our Zoom conversation, Melissa Ethridge has even more going on than her current tour. And I'm wondering what else is kind of next on the horizon for you. I know that there was a recent docu-series, for example. Did you want to talk about that, or even what's coming up in the future?
Yeah, there's a docu-series that's on Paramount Plus right now that's called I'm Not Broken. And I grew up in Kansas, and I grew up in Leavenworth, Kansas, where, if you know of Leavenworth, it's a prison town, and there were many prisons around. And by the time I was in high school, I had gone in with different groups and played music and sang for prisoners. And it always struck me that they were so appreciative, and it really lifted them up, and the response was great. So I always wanted to go back. So this is a documentary of me going back to the women's penitentiary in Kansas, meeting some of the inmates and doing a concert, and the effects that it had, and the experience of it. It was just really, really great. It's actually a very uplifting story, and it hopefully helps us think that maybe we need to look at how we deal out punishment and imprisonment and drug use, and what we can do to help with that.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that I want to highlight is your foundation, for example, and all of the important work that comes from that, especially based off of what you had just said when you're thinking about incarceration, for example, but also some opioid use.
Yes, that. Unfortunately, I lost my son to an opioid overdose about 5 years ago. And that really put me on a track of how the medical community's we put ourselves in a corner with pain and pain relievers and the high incidence of addiction. My son became addicted and eventually ended up with fentanyl, and it killed him. And so I have done some work in plant medicines, hallucinogenics, and how they can help heal the individual of addiction and of pain, and how they can help. And I understand that the what is needed is research that helps us, and data that helps us understand how this works, so we can get these things legalized. And that's what the Etheridge Foundation does. It raises funds for research and data so that we can go to the governments of all around the world and provide a new solution to opioid addiction and opioid use disorder.
And we are running just a bit low on time. I do want to be sure to make sure that everyone knows the information for going out and seeing you at CMAC. So one more time, for anyone at home who's interested in maybe buying some tickets, if there are still some available, or just wanting to share it with a friend, where can they go to learn more information?
All right. Well, you can absolutely go to melissaethridge.com or the Indigo Girls, iimagine.com, and you can get your tickets. Again, if you love live music, Under the Stars with the great songs that you know and love, you're just going to, it's a very safe show. It's a very family friendly show. Come on out. This is a very good time, and we look forward to seeing everyone there in Western New York.
And you have a lot of people in Western New York that are looking forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be sure to post that on our website, foxrochester.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Time to see what's trending now, starting with a mother's confession that has teachers very upset.
One Arizona mom took to TikTok to share that she sometimes does her kids' homework for them.
Ooh. The mom of 3 explained that after a long day of classes, tests, and perfect behavior, she sometimes feels the need to step in and take over the grueling task.
All right, so in the video, she tells a story about how her daughter hit a homework wall and started getting antsy and frustrated.
So the mom swooped in and did the 5 questions herself.
She said a lot of times her kids do the first half of the homework, but as soon as they get to be over it, she takes over and does the rest.
The mother's reasoning? It can be a lot on the kids, so it's her job to help them.
The post sparked quite a bit of debate, but this time a lot of teachers were quick to comment that her parenting was crossing a line.
A majority of educators shared similar sentiments, saying that this help from parents is a reason why students struggle so hard in the classroom.
Other parents weighed in, saying it's a disservice to the children since they're learning to be extra dependent on their parents. That's exactly what I thought. So what, you go to work and you have a bad day and mom comes and does the rest of your meetings for you? Like you feel like only making half of your bed?
So I want to know, Ashley, and maybe you know this, was this a specific age of these kids?
She didn't give a specific age, but she said elementary. So
Okay.
it could be from 1st to 6th.
All right. Now, I'm going to give a little bit more grace than for the elementary kid rather than, your high school student.
Okay.
Just because it's an elementary kid. And listen, coming from experience, I have nightmare experience of homework as a child in grade school and elementary school. I found it unbelievably overwhelming. It had nothing to do with, it's going to be an hour's worth of work at home. It was legit, my little brain could not handle more focus.
Yeah.
I didn't have that in me. And I would be lying if I said that my mother or grandfather or whomever, wherever I was, didn't assist. Listen, there was a 4th grade project. A social studies project. Borrowed the neighbors.
Jeez.
I did.
It's horrible.
I did.
That is awful.
Listen.
No, okay, all right. Can I weigh in here?
Please.
Okay, great. So here's the thing. I had parents who were, they would check my homework every night. And if I was struggling and they couldn't help me, it was my responsibility to go early to school the next morning and talk to the teacher for help. And that was since 1st grade. There was no, we're going to do the homework for you. That was it was not an option because when it came time to take a test, nobody was going to be there to help me out there. And I think that it's the early years that really, really matter, right? You have to instill that mindset of you got to push through and fight until you can't fight anymore, when it comes to tough things. But I would say middle and high school, I would maybe feel a little bit more lenient with some things.
That's where I'd say absolutely not. No.
Yeah. AP calculus.
Yeah, you're
a mathmatician and your kid can't figure it out.
If you don't understand the AP calculus 1, why are we in the AP calculus class? We'll go in, we'll sit down with the guidance counselor, we can get that squared away. We can put you right where you belong. I do think it's an individual basis. I think every student in every seat is going to be a little bit different, which is why teachers get all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
I think in high school it's to the point where, okay, listen, if you don't go to college in 3 years, you're out the door and you're going to be working full time somewhere. That's when nobody shows up and, finishes filing the Jones report for you. So that's when you need to be flying solo and doing it on your own. I think helping younger is okay, and explaining this is how we cope with this stress, this is how we can handle this stress, and maybe a project from Anastasia Sutter along the way is fine. But by high school, that's where I'd put my foot down.
Okay.
But again,
Oh my gosh, you guys are
Mark
the
says
worst.
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right, go ahead.
We're gonna move on now. A new relationship trend that is pretty upsetting, but people say they aren't ashamed to admit that they take part.
Oh.
No.
It's called, it sounds dirty. It's called Schrecking. And it's described as when a person settles for someone who doesn't meet their standards, especially when it comes to physical appearance. Oof.
Oh my gosh. Okay, according to a dating expert, the idea takes a page right out of the 2001 film. You're dating an ogre and you receive the princess treatment.
Okay, however, there is a twist with this trend that some people say can leave hopeful romantics rather traumatized.
Some people say that they have been Schracked, meaning they dated below their standards and still ended up getting hurt by the person.
According to one person's experience, they gave the guy they weren't really attracted to a chance, thinking that he would turn into Prince Charming, but she said he only ended up getting dumped and traumatized by a whole troll. Wouldn't she have been a troll?
I think that's what it said. She was dumped
and traumatized by a troll.
Yeah. Okay, so the new trend highlights the implication that daters can know how someone will treat them based on looks alone.
According to dating experts, they say that Schrecking is demonstrating how discouraged people are when it comes to finding love. Now, Liz, have you ever Schrecked anybody?
I'm not answering this.
Okay. I mean, I've Schrecked a couple of people. But I've
No! Daniel!
It's a joke!
This is a family show. That was awful. So what does it mean, Dan? What does it mean? Give us a definition.
Oh, stop it. Get your minds out of the gutter. Stick around when we come back.
That's it? You're done?
Yes. I'm not going into a definition. That's what will get me fired.
Have you Schrecked anyone? Yes or no? I think we
Oh, have I Schrecked anyone? No.
Yes.
No, I think that's awful.
Yeah.
How can you do that to someone?
No, that's
No,
horrible.
if you don't like the person fully and for who they are, then no.
Yeah.
Why you don't lead people on? That's cruel.
Yeah. I've definitely been the Shrekky.
Really?
I feel like, yeah. I was not cute in middle school, high school.
Give me his
you know.
name and address, and I'll take care of the situation,
I got
okay?
you. All right.
All right.
Thanks,
hey,
buddy.
we got to go. Final thoughts on the other side of the
It's
break.
going to get Schracked. We're back after this.
joke. 100%. I'm not kidding you. Facebook. Check it out.
I am floored right now.
I know.
Oh my God.
You never know.
Yep.
Our final thoughts this Monday here on ARC Rochester. Highlights of the morning. Melissa Ethridge.
Yes.
that was cool.
Such a cool,
Obviously.
I know.
It was so cool to speak with her. Like, she's literally doing everything, but also just an icon in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing.
And she seemed like a really lovely person too. Yeah.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
What did we start with right at 8? What was the top couple of stories at, can't remember.
We talked to you
No, that was.
at 8:30.
No, rewind, back to the 8. Ashley.
I
knows.
had Bam Bam the dog.
Bam Bam.
And we had-
Bam Bam the
Yep,
dog.
yep,
Yes,
that was the one. Yep.
That honestly,
Yeah.
that is right up there.
Yeah,
It
Right up there.
it is a day maker for sure.
yeah. That was a cool story.
Hey, Ashley, just spitballing here. Why don't we try and get in touch and talk to him via Zoom? Talk to Angel via
Oh,
Zoom.
that'd be cool.
He could bring Bam
Do
Bam.
my little magic.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
That would be
wouldn't it?
really cool. Or
That
at
would be
least the
really
reporter who's been following this.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that does it for us here on ARC Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57. It's on
13 Wham, ABC.
Right.
Much more live local news coming up later today for 13 Wham News at midday. We'll see you then.
Bye.